And we are back for a brand new episode of The Rundown with Ramon. I hope your day today is going fantastically blessed and well. My day is going really good. And I think the reason why it's going really good is because you're here on The Rundown with Ramon, where all we do is one thing and one thing alone, and that's to make sure you have your best life or you can start or grow your business with an eclectic mix of tips and news and insights and information from all over that we know are of interest to you to help you. Today, we have an amazing episode coming up, as we do every single day here on The Rundown with Ramon. 1, become an improver, a challenge to escape average and unleash greatness. I'm excited to bring to you a conversation with my guy, my friend, Justin Winstead. Has a new book out all about, is average something we should not do, or is it okay to be average? I don't know, but we'll see what he has to say about the aspect of being average. My other friend Jason Pfeiffer says, turn your doubters into believers. The power of how do you turn people who doubt you into believing in you. We're going to touch on his crowdfunding, the answer to your capital needs, by Barbara Weltman of Big Ideas for Small Business. Amtrak's new marketing strategy. It's not a train, it's a hotel on wheels. We're going to touch on that. A multi-year campaign that Amtrak has. Dave Ramsey's team always has some good tips. How to retire early, everything you need to know. And getting featured in the New York Times led to the demise of my brand. Again, good day. This is The Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here today. I hope you're ready to start. Buckle up and get ready, because I'm ready. I'm glad you're here. It's a special episode just because you're here today. So with that, let's get with it on The Rundown with Ramon. And we're back. So listen, this is a huge question, a big question that Justin Winstead unpacked, or he talked about the aspect of escape average, unleash greatness, become an improver. And it got me thinking about this very topic. Is this something that's attainable for all, for us to escape being average? And I think the questions we unpack in this interview, and I want you to think about this yourself. 1, is it okay to be average? Is that okay to be average? Now, we answer this question about what average means, but that's 1. Number 2, should all of us strive to be great in some way, shape, or form? Should we strive to be great? Those of you who have children or who care for, love younger people, what do you tell them? Do you tell them to do their best and strive to be great in some way, or is it okay to be average? That's number 2. Number 3, what can we do to stop being average if we believe the answer to this question is yes? What can we do to stop being average is a very essential question and a very timely book. The aspect of, is it okay to be average? Is it okay? Is average okay? And you hear this a lot. I was watching a Netflix documentary once, and it talked about the players there and how, the LeBrons, and there's a new series out where it talks about the starting 5, and they go through their lives and how these guys are gunning for it, going to be the top, going to be the best. But I wonder, is everybody like that? Does everybody have to be that way? Carlton, welcome, Carlton. We even have escape rooms, so yes, we can escape average. Come on, Carlton. I love that, and that blend of accolades behind your name. So do we need to be average? Can we not be average? So I'm going to jump in here with my interview with Justin Winstead. Play that right now. The discussion we had, his new book coming up. And I want to know what you think. I'll jump back in and I'll be here right now. But I wanted to share this with you, the special interview with Justin Winstead about being average, or in his book, how we can escape average and unleash greatness. Check this out. Hey, Justin Winstead, glad you're here today with us on The Rundown with Ramon. Thanks for being here. Justin, before we dive into the elements of your latest new book that comes out, Justin, back up a bit and tell people who you are, who you serve, and can you give us your website address and the best way to reach you? Talk to us about the Improver Group.
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks so much, Ramon, for having me on. It's great to see you again. It's only been a year, but feels like too long ago since you come out and took in our leadership summit. For those of you who don't know about me, I'm Justin Winstead. I'm the founder and CEO of the Improver Group. We're located in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, but serve people all over. I come from a rural background that was challenging and tough. I went into the ministry at a young age and then felt a calling to go into the business world after that. And what my life is about now is a lot of that. What I learned from being raised in that rural community and in a low-income family was hard work. What I learned about ministry was what's really important in life and relationships. And what I love about business is creating efficiencies and processes and helping people become leaders so that they can profit more. And I just kind of combine all that together in the Improver Group to help people live their best life through hard work, purpose, relationships, and keeping the big picture in mind.
I love that. And Justin, what's the website of the Improver Group so people can go
Yeah,
there?
so it's improvergroup.com. Very, complex. Improvergroup.com.
Improvergroup.com. And then I want to press you a bit more. Who are the type of clients you work with? Can you give us, I want to get to your book, but I want you to give us a story or, for example, is it that solo leader that's thinking, should I have a business or not? Is that CEO of a $5 million, $10 million company? Is it more Fortune 500? Give us a sense of maybe where your best suite of clients is, and I'm sure it varies, but give us a sense of, for example.
Yeah, and it really is a smorgasbord as far as the type of person and when it comes to their position, because I do have entrepreneurs. I've got cohorts with large companies that you'd recognize like Chick-fil-A, and then we have everything in between with the mom and pop shops and all of that. The real narrowing focus on who I serve best though, is the faith-driven individual who's trying to balance what it means to be a believer in this world, but win in business, but also the demands of social relationships and then their family relationships. So it's really the psyche of the person trying to balance it all from a faith-driven perspective. That's really my target audience there.
And that's powerful. Thank you, Justin, for being here. So, Justin, what's the name of your new book? And congratulations on that. What's the title? And then take a few minutes, dive right into what it's all about and what it means to uncover your greatness. And again, the title of your company, Improver Group. Talk to us, Justin.
That's right. Well, the name of the book is called Become an Improver, and it's a challenge to escape average and unleash greatness. And that subtitle is kind of it's a double meaning on it. So the one meaning is it's me empathizing with the reader that, you know what, it is a challenge for all of us to escape that daily grind, to just get outside of the clock in, clock out way of living life. And
so for those who've just joined, I want to just recap what we're talking about. We're talking to Justin Winstead, whose new book is about Escape Average, Unleash Greatness. And the reason why I wanted to bring this to you today, why this is so important, is because this is a discussion I have quite a bit as entrepreneurs, as small business owners. Yes, I agree. We can talk all day about funnels, about Facebook ads, about advertising, about WordPress, about Kajabi, about this, about email marketing, about mindset, about leadership, and all these kind of things. But I think a question that's so important, if we want to advance and if we want to get to the level, is to ask ourselves the question, are we operating day in and day out as average? And if we are, what does that mean? And if we are, do we have to be satisfied with being average? This is the word of the day. This is the name of the game today. And I want us all to think about this aspect of average. Is it okay to be average? Keep listening to Justin Winstead, again, author of the new book, Escape Average, Unleash Greatness. Check it out.
And paying the bills and taking the kids where they need to go, like that's average, and it can become wearisome, it can become cumbersome. And how do we escape that? So I acknowledge this a challenge to do that and to truly become the greatest version of ourselves and live in greatness. But then the second meaning of that phrase is that in the book, I'm actually issuing a challenge to do just that by taking on certain mindsets, attitudes, and implementing certain habits. Because if you do those things, that will help you to overcome the challenge. So you accept the challenge, you overcome it, and that makes you an improver.
So one tip right there, you heard that, the aspect of what habits are we doing? What habits are we doing? What habits are we not doing that limit our trajectory towards greatness? Again, going back to the Netflix special that I was listening to with LeBron and other amazing NBA players, some are newer, some are not. Interesting though, the habits they have. They all have certain habits they do to, and most importantly, one is to fine tune their bodies to make sure their bodies are weapons of greatness. What are we doing as entrepreneurs? What are we doing as business owners to be sure to be sure that we're showing up the best we can, to be the best leaders that we can, to serve our customers and to serve our team members to grow our businesses. And hey, Karen, glad you're here today. Let's keep listening to Justin Winstead again. His new book out, Escape Average, Unleash Greatness. This is a topic that's so important, at least it is to me, and I hope it is to you. Keep listening.
Some of the mindset things would be phrases like being adaptable. One of the chapters is called Willing to Change. And so we talk a lot about how can I become more willing and able to evolve and adapt with the world. I was just on another show and we were talking about Who Moved My Cheese. And, that was such a great book, but it's like, are you going to be able to move when the cheese does? And so we get into that. We get into how do you win with integrity? Some people have integrity, but they're not winning. Some people win, but they don't have integrity. So how can you do both? But the core of the book is really based on 5 daily habits. I call it the daily high five. And if you do these habits, these are habits that will help you grow as a person internally, but it also helps the people around you benefit as well. And so there are other habits you could do to grow and help yourself. There are other habits that could help others, but these are the habits that as you do them, you're improving yourself and your environment, which is the core of the book. So one example of that would be is showing thanks, showing appreciation. So there's a lot of talk about having an attitude of gratitude and counting your blessings and, looking at the good in life. But it's not good enough just to feel that. You actually have to take the extra step and develop the habit of expressing your appreciation and thanksgiving. Now you're doing something that grows you because now you're filled with contentment and gratitude, but you're also lightening up your environment. You're lifting up people and showing appreciation. So those are the kinds of things in the book. Or what are those 5 things that you could do that bless you and others?
I love that. Again, we're talking. I wanted to pause right there. This is so powerful and so important. The aspect of being grateful. The aspect of being grateful is so important. We say it, we talk about it, but it's amazing. As we're on the way to not being average, as we're on the way to being the greatest version of ourselves as we can be, as my friend Glenn Lundy says, part of that is being thankful. Part of that is being grateful. Again, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon, a special episode of the Rundown with Ramon. Partly it's special because you're here, and partly it's special because we have a special guest, Justin Winstead, going over the aspect of how we can escape average and unleash greatness. Let's keep listening. Talking to Justin Winstead, who's the founder of the Improver Group. You can find him at improvergroup.com. And Justin, one more time, give us the title of the book. I will have a few more questions, but the title of the book, the name of it, and I'm assuming we can go to Amazon or any other place that a book would be sold in 2024 modern day. But give us more information about where to find the book and give us that title again.
Yeah, Become an Improver, a challenge to escape average and unleash greatness. And you can go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble. But if you want to go to improverbook.com, it'll give you the links to all those sites. Plus, there are some bonuses that you can access by going to the site. Things like, hey, what were the lessons that I learned writing the book? And if you're thinking about writing a book, you might find value in that. Well, we also did some Pandora and Spotify playlists that tie in. The songs are tying in with themes from the book. So there's a whole section in the book about planning and goal setting. Well, we've got a playlist that you can listen to while you're doing your vision session. There's chapters on overcoming. Well, there's some inspirational ones if you're feeling a little defeated. So we've got playlists, and there's some other fun bonuses too. But improverbook.com is where you can go and grab that. And it is available hardback, paperback, or Kindle right now. So
I love that. Improverbook.com, correct?
Yep.
Improver. I can imagine somebody having a hard day and hearing Justin's beautiful voice. Buddy, you can do it.
That's right on. And then since we're throwing out sites and invitations, I think the one I would do is say, hey, even if you don't buy the book or you never contact Improver Group for coaching or an event, something you can do for free to join with us is improverchallenge.com. And that's where you actually say, you know what, I don't even need to read the book. I know I'm an improver at heart. I'm someone who wants to grow myself intentionally, and I want to make a positive impact on the world. So you can go put your name and email on improverchallenge.com, and that puts you in the ecosystem of saying you're an improver. And our vision is to create a movement of 2.5 million people who raise their hand and say, I'm an improver. We want to do that over the next 10 years. And so you can do that for free, and you can really see the attitudes and habits of an improver on that site.
Hey, Deborah, again. Hey, welcome, Deborah. Glad you're here. Hey, Karen, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Again, those who just joined, we're talking to Justin Winstead, who's the author of the book, Escape Average, Unleash Greatness. I thought this was very important to bring to you today, the aspect of how do we not be average and how to be great. We got a few more minutes to go in this interview here. It's so important. Justin's going to get some of the key points again in how we can escape average and how we can better be great. Glad you're here, Deborah. Glad you're here, Carlton. And Karen asked a question. What is average these days? Let me see what she says. Do you? People are not grateful these days. They are busy trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're right. You're right. Exactly right, Karen. Many people are trying to keep up. Many people are looking at other people, what they're doing, when instead they should be looking at themselves and how they can better themselves. Karen, glad you're here today sharing that nugget about what is average these days, because average indeed is very, very contextual. And keep listening. Justin and I get into that very question in the second half of our discussion today as we keep going on in a special episode of The Rundown with Ramon. And again, thanks for your patience on the audio quality. It's a bit iffy, and that's my fault, not his. Let's keep going. And I just sent my resume to your fax machine on your right side. You may hear the paper going through to work for a group. So pick that up and look me over. Justin, curious, I want to talk about the word average. And there's no time to go over, unpack it. We could talk for hours about this word, but I hope people do pick up the book by Justin Winstead. I know Justin is a great guy, and anything in that book, it's going to be dynamic. So definitely pick the book up. But is average contextual, Justin? Is there one metric of it? Just to look at, again, silly example. I'm not a sports fan at all by any stretch, but the Kobe's, the Jordans of the world, combined with the guy who says, Justin, I'm working hard. You said come in at 9. I was here at 8:58. You said leave at 5. I left at 5:02. I'm doing what to do. I'm getting, B plus, A minus. I'm pretty good. Do I got to be like those guys? If you understand.
Yeah.
That's a big question. Unpack as best you can this word average. What does it even mean?
Yeah, it is a little bit relative to your context, but the way that I would frame it in connection with the book has to do with how much growth are you experiencing as a person and how much of an impact are you making on the world. Okay, because that's the heartbeat of an improver, is we grow ourselves and we make the world a better place. And the world just means whatever our circles of influence are. So some people, like Elon Musk, that's a global stage. Others of us, our world might be our little small town of 100 people. So it's your world. But we juxtapose the word improver in the book against two other words. And these two other words are average. And the two words are exister and diminisher. And so
I want you to pick that up. I want you to pick that up and listen to what's going to come next. Exister or diminisher, exister or diminisher. And I want you to ask yourself, am I just existing, which Justin's going to touch on, or am I diminishing? In fact, am I pulling people down? Am I diminishing others? This is the crux, people. This is important. Forget greatness right now. I want you to hear it comes next, and I want you to ask yourself every day, am I diminishing by pulling people down in my life, or am I adding value to people's life? Check it out.
The way that you can live your life is you can live your life in a diminisher mentality that's consumer oriented, that is selfish, that's all about your appetites and your desires, and you are a net negative on your workplace, on your communities. You're taking more than you're giving, and there are some people who are just they're a drain on themselves and the people around them. They're diminishers. But most people, you like that? Yeah. But most people fall into the middle bucket of being existers. So they're not making the world better, but they're not really doing a lot to make it worse either. They're just kind of drifting through the lazy river of life. They're responding to the bills that have to be paid and what their boss told them to do. And, what was the commercial that got them excited about a product? And they're just kind of reacting in life and letting life happen to them. And they wake up and go, well, where'd all the time go? They were just existing and they were having a neutral impact on the world. And so to escape average means definitely don't make yourself and the world worse, but don't even be content with just status quo. Escape that and live a life of positive growth and positive impact. That's to be an improver.
I love it. I have one more question for you, Justin. But one more time, tell us about the book and the link that you gave earlier. We can go for all the bonuses and cool things. Tell us that one more time.
Yep. So Become an Improver. is the name of the book, and you can go to improverbook.com to see all the links to Barnes & Noble and Amazon and all of that, and you can claim the bonuses on that page. There's 5 good bonuses that come free with it.
I love that. I love that. So going back to achieving greatness, and it seems like to a degree that how you broadly said it, is that it very well can be contextual, using the example of Elon Musk. We'll just take that. To one guy or gal, it could be, listen, my goal is to have 20 rockets go up.
Yes.
Somebody else, they could say, and with intention, Justin, that's not for me, either too big of a risk, too much time, too much away from my family, whatever it is for them. But I really want to go to the library once a week and read a book to some kids who need it. Am I picking up something that, as long as you're pick it, do something, just don't take away and don't not do nothing? Is that a...
Yeah, that's right. And it is contextual because it's really based on this other vague idea of your potential. And so when we say greatness means you reached your fullest potential. Well, how do you limit someone's potential? What are the limitations there? And really the limitation is, in my mind, is your potential is reached when you're living fully in your purpose. I think each person was created and designed with a purpose for being on the planet. You've got a mission, you've got an assignment. And so as long as you're living out that mission, it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. This has zero to do with what kind of house you're in, what kind of car you drive, what kind of education level you achieved. It has to do with, this is how I was made and the potential I was made for. This is my purpose. I'm reaching that. So externally, I'm reaching my purpose, and internally, I'm filled with peace. And at the point where you're peace.
Did you hear that keyword? Did you hear that operable keyword? Internally, I'm filled with peace. As you're going toward your greatness, if you're not feeling great, if you're feeling yucky about it, maybe you're going about it wrong. Maybe you're going about it wrong. And if you're drained on people and you feel a peace about it, that's a problem. But I think that inner peace is so important. We should have life that gives us some peace. This is how life should be. Let's keep listening. And I hope you're enjoying this interview. I hope you're enjoying this discussion about how we can live our best lives, how we can be great, how we can. And I think the really thing that hit me, we don't want to be a drain. We don't want to be a diminisher. We don't want to just exist and meander along life. We want to be a contributor to life, or as I say oftentimes, make an impact on the life of somebody else. Let's keep listening.
Peace is full and your purpose is being reached. You've met your potential and you're living a great life.
One of those moments, Justin, right
here. Yeah, that's all right.
Justin, I love that. I love that. I love it. I think you've given a lot of people hope that everybody doesn't have to be the billionaire next door, the millionaire next door. Everybody doesn't have to be Justin or Ramon, because they can't. I can't be Justin. Justin can't be me. But I think the challenge I'm hearing, the call to action, is that everybody can do better. Everybody doesn't have to just be on the inner tube of life and just meandering down. Except for you're doing it literally, then you should do that one day. That's amazing. But you don't have to be in the inner tube of life just coasting. Take some action and do something is what I'm hearing today, John.
That's exactly right. And I guess I'd kind of close out the thought by this quote. I read it in Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, but I think he attributes it to somebody else. But the quote goes something like, most people, we could also rephrase this to say the average person, spends their entire lives trying to climb the ladder of success as quickly as they can, only to get to the top and realize it was leaned against the wrong building. And so what the call is to say, get your ladder, figure out what building you want to be at, and it doesn't matter everybody else's buildings and ladders. You go lean the ladder against your building and you climb it at your pace. And that's the way that you become an improver. You don't become an improver by trying to race the person next to you to get to the top of the building that wasn't even yours.
I love that, Justin. That is a gem right there. There is no use racing and trying to compete with other people. Justin Winstead talking about how to truly live a life of peace. I think that is so important. Again, his new book, Escape Average, Unleash Greatness, is out. And it really got me when he talked to me about it. Sometimes we go about life so many times just living average. We're racing and racing and racing and racing and striving to beat the other person. And I love the example he gave Deanna. I love the example he gave Karen. I love the example he gave Deborah. The example of a racing and racing and racing and racing. I put my ladder, I go up the wall, and I realize I'm on the wrong wall. Because my journey is not Karen's journey. Karen's journey is not my journey. My journey is not Deanna's journey. Deanna's journey is not my journey. This is how we do it. It's understanding what is true peace, what is true success, what does it mean truly to live the life that we want and the life that we can. This is so important. And I hope you've enjoyed this special edition of the Rundown with Ramon. I enjoyed bringing it to you, and I want to remind you of a few things. As I say in every single episode, if you've enjoyed this episode, definitely check us out at zoneofgenius.com. Ask yourself today to be clear on what you really, really, really want in life. Ask yourself, do you even want to be in business? Are you hungry enough to get to where you need to be in life and want to be in life? Are your prices premium? I talk about prices all the time because oftentimes we small businesses, our prices are too low. And the mindset of success, our mindset is a game-changing different. And what do you do best? What do you do better than anybody else? What do you do best? And that you can get paid to do. That's how you know you're reaching the success you want. Thank you so much, Karen, for being here. Your journey is your own. Karen says, preach, brother. I'm doing my best, Karen, every single day. And I hope you are too. This is a special edition of the Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here today. Go out and let somebody else that you're listening, go out and let somebody know you're enjoying it. And I wish you a blessed and fantastic day. Until next time on the next edition of the Rundown with Ramon.